Hello guys, welcome to Dad in the Don. Today we're going to preview and predict the undisputed light heavyweight clash between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. We do also have a stacked undercard which we will get to a little bit later, but we're going to start off with the main event, which sees these two undefeated champions face off for all of the belts. So starting off with the record, you've got Beterbiev with 20 fights, 20 wins, all 20 coming from knockouts, and Bivol is 23 fights, 23 wins and 12 knockouts. So similar amount of fights. Obviously Beterbiev's record stands out there with all of those knockouts. But I think when you look at their CV, I don't think Beterbiev has fought anywhere near the calibre of opponent that Bivol has. And I think Bivol is a much superior boxer. Obviously, the Alvarez fight is where we came to know who Dmitry Bivol was. I think a lot of casual fans wouldn't have known who he was before that. But obviously, since that performance, he has now dominated most people's pound-for-pound rankings ever since, and quite justifiably so. And I think the fact that Alvarez avoided the rematch in that one tells you a little bit more about how good a boxer Dmitry Bivol is and how hard he hits in bunches as well. He wasn't just throwing ones and twos. He was throwing 3, 4, 5 punch combinations. Absolutely battered Alvarez. I've never seen anyone do that to him, even Floyd Mayweather. Mayweather outclassed him, but Bivol absolutely battered him. Looking at Beterbiev's previous fights, he was really hurt against Jaya and he was in trouble. He was behind on all 3 judges' scorecards but came away with an 8th round knockout. Fair enough, if that's his game plan, to fit his way in and just hunt the knockouts, you're going to come unstuck eventually, especially someone like Bivol, who I believe can evade him for all 12 rounds, not get hit a lot, land a lot more punches than Beterbiev is, and then if you're not getting a knockout, it's going to be very hard to win it on a decision, because I can't see a world where all 3 judges won't be scoring the majority of the rounds to Bivol. So for me, Beterbiev does need a knockout, but as I've suggested there, he's struggled in the past against lesser opponents than Bivol. Not any disrespect to Anthony Yardy, but this is a different kettle of fish altogether. This is a completely different gravy. And he was also on the floor against Callum Johnson back in 2018. So I just think you do this sort of performance against someone like Bivol, it's going to end in tears. So in terms of a verdict, I honestly would not be surprised with any outcome. I can see anything happening in this fight, and again, any result is on the table. But I can only really see it going 2 ways. I'd say if Beterbiev is to win, it has to be early. It has to be before round 6. And anything other than that, it's just going to be a Dmitry Bivol annihilation from start to finish. Probably won't knock him out or even knock him down, but he'll just pummel him for all 12 rounds. Keep him at distance. Control the pace of the fight. Control the distance. And when you're doing those things, 9 times out of 10 you're going to win the fight. So for me, if I'm going to be stuck to put my neck on the line for a decision here, I'm going to say that it's going to be Dmitry Bivol by unanimous points decision. So as promised, we're going to run through the undercard now. So Sky Nicholson defends her WBC featherweight belt against Raven Chapman. First ever women's world title fight in Saudi Arabia. Massive for the sport, massive for the ladies. The men have been getting paid for a couple of years now, and finally it's the women's turn. And in this one, I can't see past the champion here. She doesn't get too many knockouts. I'm going to say that Sky Nicholson defends her belt with a unanimous points decision. You've also got light heavyweight action with Ben Whitaker taking on Liam Cameron. Not Ben Whitaker's biggest fan. He is a fantastically gifted boxer, got tremendous skill and athletic ability, but I just cannot stand the way he showboats and disrespects the opponent. He says he's not, but I can't see how some of the stuff he does cannot be taken as disrespect. I think he needs to cut that out if he wants to go to the higher echelon. I think he will get found out when he gets into deeper waters at these higher levels, but that's not going to be tonight, and it could go all the way, but he hasn't got great power. But I think he's got enough that he could get a TKO in or around the 7th or 8th round. A middleweight action next, and Chris Eubank Jr. faces Kamil Seria. Only really fighting him because everyone else seemingly has pulled out. Not expecting this to be anything special. It's going to be a very easy win for Chris Eubank Jr. Depends what he really wants to do, what sort of statement he wants to make. I know he's had a bit of beef with Conor Ben out there, so he might want to put on a show just to look good in front of him and hype up the sales for a potential fight further down the line. I could see this one ending fairly early. I'm going to say anything between 4 and 8, so we'll stick a TKO win in the 6th round for Chris Eubank Jr. Jaya puts his IBF Cruiserweight title on the line against Jack Macy next, and I'm expecting this to be one-way traffic. Jaya is a cut above. Feel a bit sorry for Jack Macy. I think it's a bit of a hiding for nothing here. I think he'll give a good gutsy performance, but he'll be completely outclassed, and I'm going to say that Jaya takes this in a TKO win in or around the 8th round. And finally, we've got the British heavyweight title on the line in Saudi Arabia, which is a bit weird, but we'll cover that another day. And much anticipated rematch between Fabio Wardley and Fraser Clark. First fight was absolutely amazing. Fight of the year candidate, blockbuster. Both guys gave everything, and great to see this run back again. I do think Fabio Wardley took Fraser Clark a little bit too lightly first time out, and I think he's going to make the slight adjustments needed. It's not going to be a massive win, but I think he's going to just edge this in maybe a split decision. Going to definitely get the decision, but I'll stick my neck on the line and say it'll be via split decision. So there we have it, guys. That's my prediction for the main event plus the full undercard. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we will catch you on the next video.